Rory McIlroy's foundation hosts the Irish Open. Now the host is a day away from winning on home turf. Jordan Spieth did not hit it straight again on Saturday, but the world number 2 scrambled his way to the final group at the Byron Nelson. And Bernhard Langer has won 5 majors on the PGA Tour Champions. Now he is 18 holes away from number 6.
Golf Central. Brought to you by Titleist.
Hi there, welcome into Golf Central. What a day we have had around the world in the game of golf. Ryan Bird joined by PGA Tour champions John Cook and Nota Begay. Let's start off with the AT&T. Byron Nelson, Jordan Spieth playing on home turf, but it's Sergio Garcia that comes out firing at the 8th hole.
Good, solid par 4 here, the 8th hole. 25 feet for birdie for Sergio. Bam.
15 under. Sergio getting a little separation. Here he is at 9.
Yeah, 4 under through 8 holes and has a pretty straightforward looking par save here. And look, it just squeaks off to the right. And yeah, Sergio, that one fooled me too.
First of back-to-back bogeys, he would drop to 13 under. Meanwhile, world number 2, Jordan Spieth.
Not a lot of quality golf shots Jordan hit today, but this certainly was 147 yards. Staring this down, liking what he's seeing. Right at it. Good lead.
And he would birdie there to move to 14 under and into a share of the lead. Spieth now at 11.
Yeah, found himself in a bit of a tussle today. Not sharp from tee to green, but making up for it with his short game. Beautiful shot.
The short game was miraculous. Birdie there to get to 15 under, and Spieth in the solo lead. But here comes long ball hitter Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, after an indifferent 8-iron here to the par 3 13th hole, hits a beautiful little pitch shot. Looked like it caught a little bit of the golf hole. Easy tap in.
And would save par to stay at 14 under. Meanwhile, Spieth at 14.
Aggressive strategy off the tee. Most players would hit with a long iron or maybe just try and bleed maybe a 5-wood down there. And Spieth getting aggressive and paying the price for not pulling it off into the water.
So now his bogey putt.
Pitched out, hit his 4th to this spot here, and this isn't what you would call a conventional bogey, Ryan, and maybe it might not get there, but it does.
Nota, how about 11 one-putts? 11 one-putts for Spieth. He does drop to 14 under. Back to Koepka.
Same line as Jordan. Got a nice read off of this, but this is for 3.
And the lead at 15 under par. Meanwhile, kind of doing his own thing, Matt Kuchar, birdie at 18.
Cooch, he's lurking, just like he did last week. He's lurking, and just don't take your eye off him, though, because he'll just keep creeping and doing just like that.
At round of 65, Kuchar in control all day on Saturday. Back to Koepka at 16.
After bombing a drive down 16, missed the green long and to the right, but a beautiful pitch shot down the hill, spins it perfectly, lets it run out. Another tap-in birdie for Brooks.
And now the leader by 2 for Koepka, a round of 65. Back to Jordan at 17. This for birdie.
Yeah, well positioned. Great line off the tee. Took the water out of play. Big swinger left to right. And gets that crowd rocking.
And that would be his 11th one-putt of the day. Cookie probably should have had 12. Needed this to save par at 18.
Yeah, after a bad tee shot on 18, had to lay up, pitched it to 6 feet, and that just never had a chance right from the start there, Ryan.
So Koepka saves par at 18. Spieth bogeys 18. And what could have been a tie heading into Sunday is now a 2-shot deficit. Nonetheless, what an intriguing leaderboard with Koepka, Spieth, Garcia, Kuchar, Woodland all in the mix here at the AT&T Byron Nelson. But for now, it is Koepka with a 2-shot lead. He spoke with our Scott Walker.
Brooks Koepka, the leader going into the final round of the AT&T Byron Nelson. And for you, you flared a tee shot left. There were a couple of left misses, but all in all, you were able to really put up a pretty good round. How were you able to do it today?
The putter kind of kept me in there. I felt like I hit the ball terrible today. I don't know what it was, just a little out of sync, I guess, but the short game was there, and it kind of bailed me out. I mean, we've missed greens from 140 yards, I think, about 3 or 4 times today, which is kind of embarrassing. But, just got to clean it up, go to the range right now, clean that up, and, hopefully get it together for tomorrow.
You're still early in your career. What maturity have you learned to be able to contend when you're not hitting it the way that you want?
That's just patience. You know, you've played well the first 2 days. You just got to know that and just hang in there. I mean, people are going to make mistakes. You know, you're going to get some lucky breaks today, like today, for it to stay up on 9. I'm not really sure how it stayed out of the water, but you know, and it just comes down to putting. You've got to make the putts, and you know, today I was able to do that.
What'll be the one key tomorrow as you go out in the final round with good friend Jordan Spieth?
Yeah, it'll be fun. I mean, I like playing with Jordan, and obviously he's got the hometown crowd, which is cool to see. And that was probably the loudest roar I've heard on 17 today. That was pretty neat. But just gotta keep doing what I'm doing. Just do me, I guess.
All right. Good luck in the final round. Thanks. Appreciate it.
And you take a look at Koepka, Noda, and what he's done this season compared to this week, and the driving. Every aspect of his game, really, especially the short game, has been on full display this week.
Well, I think he summarized it very succinctly in saying that his putter basically bailed him out today. He led the field in strokes gained putting, so it wasn't his tee to green, which had been his strength the first 2 rounds. And John, that's what you got to do. Sometimes it's your putter, sometimes it's your driver that gives you that advantage.
So the final group is Koepka and Jordan Spieth. Spieth finds a way to get into that final group. He too spoke to Scott.
There are a lot of ways to describe Jordan Spieth's round. I'll let you do it. There were so many twists and turns. How do you characterize the round?
Unfortunately, not boring. You know, boring. I'm looking for boring golf tomorrow. Back to those. You know, I hit 33 out of 36 greens the first 2 days. Something like that would be nice, especially the way I feel on the greens.
You talked about a two-way miss. You certainly had it going here. A lot of rights and then the left on 14. What happened with that tee shot, and then how did you feel about the recovery?
I was trying to play a little cut off the left side, and I think I just didn't quite get around my body enough, and it caused me to just double cross it, and I hit it, you know, center toe. So I hit a laser left. You know, I probably should have hit iron off that tee, but I've been hitting that 3-wood just fine and putting it in that fairway specifically. So, yeah, no problems up until then, but. You know, if you go in the water left there, I mean, there's just nothing you could do. You have to punch out then, and you're really just looking to make a 6, and I stole really a stroke out of that with the putt.
All told, you work with Cameron McCormick guys before this round. I'm assuming you'll do that again before the next round. What is your optimism that you'll be able to work some things out to be able to contend in a tournament that's so important?
It's very useful to have Cam there. I mean, he's been telling me it's setting in the right place, and you know, the swing's been good on the range, and I'm just trying to get some kind of trigger that helps me set it and feel like I have the confidence as I get to the top of my backswing to be aggressive through the ball. That's what I'm struggling with, and it's useful to have him here. It's amazing to be contending at the Byron Nelson. This is a new feeling, being this close to the lead here, and you know, it's felt like a normal week. It's felt like a week that you know, It's felt kind of a combination of a normal tournament and one that, you know, I maybe want a little more, similar to like a major type situation. So go out tomorrow, try and keep things as simple as possible, not think too much about it. If I see a couple shots that are hitting my line, that's all it takes. I see a couple on the first few holes, we'll be in good shape.
All right, good luck in the final round. Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Take a look at the tail of the tape heading into this final round, final grouping of Koepka and Spieth. 2 young Americans that both have showed all of their talents on display earlier in their career. Of course, Jordan Spieth and what he accomplished last summer, pretty incredible. Let's start with Jordan Spieth, guys, because it's tough to come down on the guy because he's sitting there in the final group and he's 14 under par. But then you watch him hit it, and there are just so many shots that are reminiscent of what happened at times in the Masters and, of course, what happened at the Players' Championships. And I have to ask the question, is everything all right with Jordan Spieth's swing?
Well, certainly sometimes you try to fake yourself out and talk yourself into thinking you're hitting the ball better than you are. He hit 13 of 18 greens today. Not great, but not bad. Hit a couple good quality iron shots. The third hole was a very nice shot, something to build on, but not the ball striking round he was looking for. I think he's trying to talk himself into thinking he's hitting the ball better than he is. He's got some work to do.
And John, you could kind of identify with this. Every player gets to the PGA Tour because they've got great golf. And you become better and improve in different facets of the game, and you move up through the different levels of the game by improving your bad golf. And Jordan Spieth is getting it done with not his best, and that's evidence of maturity. That's evidence of an ability to understand situations and to not put yourself in a place where you're going to make 6s and 7s, but walking off of certain holes, digging out a 5 like he did on the 14th hole. That was a huge bogey.
But notice this isn't even close to his best, and he's 2 out of the lead.
And that's just
not even
I think that's a testament to his talent and his ability to grind these rounds out. Some guys would have rolled over and just mailed it in, not Jordan Spieth. He's never been like that since the day I met him, and he certainly isn't going to start doing that right now.
Conversely, our leader, Brooks Koepka, cards a 65 and said he was embarrassed by the way he hit it at times.
Yeah, but that's the progression of a champion, Ryan. He turning embarrassing ball striking rounds into 54-hole leads. So, you know, this is something, I mean, I'm very well aware of this. This is what I've been doing for a couple of years. It's embarrassing sometimes, but you got to dig down deep. You got to go to the range. You got to work it out. Hopefully he goes to the range by himself and with his caddy and figures it out on his own.
And there's a mental side to that. There's exercising patience. He was only even par through 6 holes. Sergio Garcia got off to a quick start at 4 under through 8. Jordan Spieth was 3 under through 9. So he was watching those players take the lead and create some separation. He remained patient, shot 5 under over his last 12 holes, propelled himself to the lead.
Now, going to be a fun Sunday for sure with Spieth and Koepka in the final group. Still to come here on Golf Central. It is a major time on the PGA Tour Champions, and it's 2 guys that have been in the mix before. In fact, they've won 6 of 15 majors. It's Perry and Langer fighting it out again. Plus, Rory McIlroy missed the cut the last 3 years. Why this year could be different at the Irish Open.
Golf Central is brought to you by Titleist, the #1 ball at the AT&T Byron Nelson. Titleist, the #1 ball in golf. Shipsticks, the largest golf bag shipping company in the world, simplifying the way you travel.